Hello, welcome back to Let's Play Black Book, where we just lost all our money. And we're setting off to the last location on this event.
Finally, after the prolonged greetings of the foreign guests, the ritual of drinking to the bride begins. The bride brings wine to everyone, and the guests sit in the traditional order. A dinner is served that consists of many dishes: jellied minced meat, meat soup, fish pie, and calf's head. These are only a tiny portion of all the dishes served. The whole week before the wedding, the bridesmaids and the bride were preparing wailings of grief. Now it's time for songs of praise and glory. Before continuing the feast, you decide to stretch your legs and walk into a decorated room.
Okay.
And she has the blackest book. And her eyes. A true Satan. She looked at me and I sort of froze. She wanted to set her short on me.
She's behind me, isn't she?
But then I told her, I'll hit you so hard.
What did you tell me?
Ah, sweet mother. Oh, Jesus.
It's me who's going to hit you hard. Or should I send my chort on you?
Oh, Vasya, don't curse him. He was a fool. Don't be strict with him. He used to tease me too when I was with Proshka.
Ah, Akulina. You're healing up a little.
I know that you're good. You should be called a witch doctor.
Akulina, was it you who I cured of Ikota?
It was me, Vasilisa. Thank you, mistress.
This chort has no business sitting as an Ikota. Proshka is doing good now. He's traveling with me.
So, he's helping you. Who knew it would turn out so well? This is my friend, Pyotr. He's very good with his flute.
Well, it is what it is.
If you tell any more stories like that about me, you won't have any limbs to hold that flute. Got it?
Got it.
So, how are you doing without Proshka?
Oh, I couldn't be happier. The chort doesn't speak from inside me in a scary voice, and the other children don't make fun of me anymore. Thank you, Vasya.
Do you like the wedding?
Oh, it's pretty, and the songs, and everyone is dressed so nicely.
That's rubbish. But Nikolai's uniform looks great. I bet he has a gun at home.
This can't possibly go wrong.
When I grow up, I'll cry my eyes out, and then I'll live happily.
It's very interesting.
How's your patrol doing? Noticed any more Khaldooms?
Everything's quiet. I'm on the lookout.
Okay, so where is this as the boy? Big guy.
The neighbors of this tall carpenter are lying face down on their plates, snoring peacefully.
Do you think I bored them with my talking? Oh no, that's not the case. In all of Perm Gubernia, there's no man more dashing than me. Well, if it's about carpentry or drinking. Anyway, in all the rest, I'm afraid I'm not that good.
So your axe feeds you?
Yeah, I recently put a blockhouse in Anbor. I'm often hired in this Trieste. If only I was paid as well as I should. I can build whatever you can think of. A boat or a church. My tool is always with me. My loyal axe here.
So no one can beat you at drinking.
I can drink 5 bottles of vodka right now. Believe it or not.
I don't have money to bet on it.
Vasilisa Fyodorovna, God be with you. I know I didn't believe you outright, but I was wrong. Oh, thank you, Vasilisa Fyodorovna. I don't know how to thank you. Take some sour cream from our cow. Oh, it was a lucky day when we met you.
I could actually bet him that.
The neighbors of this tall...
Do you think... Oh no, that's... Well, if it's about carpentry or drink...
So no one can...
I can drink 5 bottles of vodka right now. Believe it or not.
I could bet an Adam's head? Sure.
Kazagavar, you use an herb and offer a bet.
What?
One cup after another, and you don't feel a thing. The carpenter soon gives up and falls beside his neighbors. You take your winnings.
I used magic. I'm sure that's fair.
Oh, Vasilisa, the bride told us about you.
Such a man she got herself, right?
Hush! Do you want to curse her?
Hey, look at the mean girls.
I can't curse. Here, Vasya will prove me right, right? But what a man, a soldier. Maybe I should get dragged away by chorts?
Thank you for
No,
helping.
they're not mean girls. They're just
I understand that you got this friend quite
gossipy.
That's alright. She's a fine girl. Feel like we've known her all these years.
It's a pity she didn't show up earlier.
Aren't you afraid that the bride used to be a changeling?
What's there to be scared about? She's ordinary now.
Ish.
Things happen in life. It wasn't her decision to become a demon. Such was her fate.
The only one to blame here is her mother.
Oh, she's also suffered her fill with the changeling. God is forgiving.
Okay. There's the feast, bridesmaid. Is there more to this room? Doesn't feel like I've been able...
The feast is not yet over, but it will not continue on without your approval.
I think...
The feast continues, and each of the guests is honored with a song of glorification. After each song, it is customary to thank the singers with some money. Your turn comes. The song begins, "Thrythlind nasha svashenka." When the sound of the choir dies down, a girl with a tray approaches you.
Definitely going to do. I'm glad I did the bet thing.
The eyes of the performers grow wide with surprise. Your generosity is momentarily praised in a song.
I lose a sin that I didn't
At the end
have.
of the feast, a ritual dish is served. Selyanka, a large baked pudding with eggs. Nikolai deftly cuts a piece of pie and gifts his mother-in-law the customary coins. The feast will go on until morning, but old Yegor convinces you that tomorrow is the most important day. The traveling of the wedding procession to the wedding ceremony. You go home to have a little rest before dawn.
I wish there was like a negative sin, so you guys like you're going past zero sin onto virtuous. But nah. You can't get less than 0. Okay. Take the reward. Take the reward. I'm doing a lot with wards right now. Yep. Go do that. Weave a rope out of sand. Bring water in a sieve. Okay. Stronger than seal. I have no money. Let's talk to Proshka.
Like my new fur.
Don't know how.
You've had
Nothing new.
possibly harm me. Enough of I won't forget.
Which makes me think that there was nothing new when I talked to him before.
Still thinking about this. So I did. Oh,
Yep.
So,
that's good.
I probably, when I did that earlier, I probably subjected y'all
How's the
soon they
to things you'd already heard. So, it looks like everything. Proshka's trotting around up there.
God bless. Yegor Yevlampovich, Vasilisa Fyodorovna. I came for and you, Yegor Yevlampovich, will get to Vilgard. Get ready. I'll wait for you at the gates.
That looks like everything. Farewell to beauty. Trinity Church in Vilgurt. It never gave us the chance to look at the chest.
The bride's izba with the light of dawn. The changeling girl sits under the icons and starts a long ritual of saying farewell to the maidenly headband. The bridesmaids chant Uzhyasyaduka Maladyoshenka. The bride hands out red satin ribbons to everyone. The bride gives the prettiest one to you. The ritual drags on, and the guests have yet to arrive. The sounds of the last wailings quiet down close to the evening. The bridesmaids begin dressing the bride in the wedding gown, and you decide to look once more for cursed items in the yard while waiting for the guests.
Okay. What about the chest with all the stuff in it, the garments that the Susedko told me to look at? Am I
You
ever
go
going to get
down
that chance?
Into the yard. It looks empty and grim without wedding guests. Not surprising. This roof was home to an evil spirit for many years. You jump from a sudden rustling. You think you heard it coming from one of the haystacks. But which one?
Large haystack, smaller haystack. I think it's the smaller haystack.
There was some noise coming from this haystack. Or was it that haystack? Two dark figures emerge from the shadows.
Aha! We've caught a witch!
Oh, it's Vasilisa.
This isn't a fairy tale. What if I took you for an evil spirit?
Sorry, Vasya. We were trying to ambush an evil Khaldun, not you.
Oh, he's recruiting people now.
Someone has been here for sure. We've been watching all night and saw it. He sneaked in and planted an ikota on the wedding.
Oh, Christ in heaven! Not an ikota.
It's alright. I'll protect you. Khalduns have no business cursing weddings.
What Khaldun did you see?
He sneaked in at night. Satan himself. I swear by God.
Your tendency to exaggerate makes you less useful as a witness.
Gates opened by themselves, and the autumn seals were flying around.
Means Chorts were moving it.
And he himself didn't look like a Khaldun. He was dressed as a townsperson.
He started to whisper. It was so fast and so frightening. It was so dark, we almost couldn't see anything.
She likely won't find it by herself.
Stop whistling.
This flute must be good against the Khalduns.
So he ran, and we decided to change our hiding spot in case he'd be back. And you came.
What did that Khaldun do?
He whispered a lot and did something with his hands.
I think he was scattering cursed items.
We'll help you find them, Vasya.
She likely won't find it by herself.
All right, Bitka, look in this haystack for a peapod with 9 peas. You, Akulina, look in that haystack, and I'll search the yard. All clear?
Clear. He likely won't find it without us.
All right, Vasilisa.
Okay, what was the thing we just got? Each Khaldun has his charts. For a long time, we suspected our Uncle Kolyan to be a knower. We hadn't seen his charts. One time, I climbed up into the attic, searched everywhere, and found a jewelry box. It had lots of glass shards that looked just like candies. Green ones, yellow ones, blue ones, red ones. I started to look them over, seeing how they sparkled. Suddenly, there was a sound of someone on the stairs. Uncle Kolyan had returned from mowing. "What have you done, you little rascal?" he screamed. "The Chorts won't let me rest now. They'll torture me to death." And that's precisely what happened. Our uncle fell ill and died a year later. One shouldn't disturb Chorts. It was considered taboo to not invite a Khaldun to a wedding. It was akin to not inviting close or distant relatives. People were afraid of Khalduns and generally did not want to take the risk. If by chance or for some other reason a Khaldun was not invited, there was a good reason to fear the consequences. This fear is well depicted in the painting A Sorcerer Comes to a Peasant Wedding by the Russian painter Vasily Maximov, a member of the Peredzniki group. I can't say that, sorry. It was believed that there were many magical ways to spoil a wedding. For instance, a Khaldun could set newlyweds against each other or put a spell on the guests as a prank or with an evil intent. Okay, there's Akulina. Let's look at the tub.
Beer. Leftovers from yesterday.
There's the chest.
The chest contains snowy white bed sheets for the newlyweds. They must be given to the house of the groom once you go to the izba. You cut into the lining and, to your horror, find something furry inside. You find a dried bear paw that emanates dark sorcery. You hide this new artifact in your bag, as if against your will. The chest contains snowy white bed sheets for the newlyweds. They must be given to the house of the groom once you go to the izba.
Let me see what my item situation looks like. That's locked. Okay. Reduces torment. I think there is an item that reduces torment again, but I don't have it. Increases ward. Okay, ward. Okay. Oh, keep. And articulacy. Secret page. Yeah, that's all very good. Mm-hmm. Strengthens waist. Interesting. Okay. Hit points. Bonus money. Ah. Take waste on me. That might not be terrible. Nope. Can't use bless right now. Plus hit points. Eloquence black. Alright. Does damage.
You closely inspect the floor. To your horror, you find a patch of burned dog hair. You remove it with a zagavar and throw it away in disgust. Petka suddenly calls out to you.
Vasa, Vasa, I found it, I think.
I too found some traces of the curse. You and I both have some. That's a lot. What do you have, Aquilina?
Oh,
Well, it doesn't matter if you don't have any.
I found some Vasa. Also pod.
Quite a few curses. Powerful Koldun is involved here.
The children look at each other worrisomely.
Give me those pods. Who knows what else is our enemy capable of? Curse? Will he summon Chorts? Mortal threat.
You jump from the sudden knock at the gates. The children run inside the house, screaming.
Hey, open the gates. Foreign merchants have arrived.
After several minutes of bargaining, you open the gates.
Go get your bride upstairs. I need to speak to the master of ceremonies.
You seem alarmed, Vasilisa.
I found so many cursed things right now. Someone powerful is trying to curse this wedding.
You tell old Yegor about your discoveries.
You can't stop the wedding now.
But why? Wait, I'll tell Nikolai.
Old Yegor forcefully.
Hold there. Do you want to spoil their wedding? If you stop the procession right now, their whole life could go sideways.
Yes, but what if we're stopped on our way down the aisle? No one knows how all these curses turn out.
That's your task, Matchmaker. To guard the procession against it. If it stops, then yes, only God knows what will happen. Don't bother the betrothed. Do your job, and I will do mine. We'll teach Fechka some Zagavars. He may learn something yet.
All right, Grandpa.
Let's go. We need to bless them on their way.
All the guests gather in the Izba. After the blessings of Nikolai and his bride, the procession departs to Vilgort, to the Church of the Trinity.
I feel like I missed a chance to talk to Akalina and Petka there. I'm wondering if I had a limited number of places I could search. And if I talked to them, I would have missed out. Okay. Departure.
This girl sure is lucky, right?
Yes, you can return from another world. She wouldn't have done it by herself. We helped her. So is the case with the other dead. They can't get back by themselves.
So Kolya wouldn't pull her out without you, right?
Without me or Grandpa, unlikely.
You know, I've been thinking. In a way, you also pulled me out from the grave. If you didn't come that night to the pothouse, Shorts would have killed me.
Yes, I think that's how it happened.
I've heard what the girls in Vilgard have been saying. That you didn't want to become a witch. But you did become one, right? And so I've been thinking. You did it to help your betrothed.
Why would you think that?
You and your grandpa are taking me for a fool. But I see lots of things. The dead men can't go back by themselves, right? I visited lots of evening gatherings. I saw how much you loved him. So I think you decided. Vasa, stop this nonsense. Nothing good will come of it. You brought back that girl. But she never died. She was kidnapped, right? I was quite close to being betrothed. He's dead. Buried.
Quit running your mouth. You don't understand anything.
Wait, don't be angry. I'm not joking. came close to seeing the afterlife. There's no coming back from there. And your chords constantly beg you for a walk, right? So how many people have you cursed already?
Not so many.
And what's next? Sooner or later, they'll get hungrier and hungrier and start dragging our souls to the grave. I was enclosed to many stories. Your church will also drag you to hell, along with who knows how many peasants.
Right now, she has 0 sin.
You may be right. The Chorts constantly ask for word. If I give them some slack, they'll ruin everything they see. But what else can I do? You're saying my Chorts will be the death of me. You can't know my fate, and you don't know his fate.
That's right. I don't. But I decided to make my own fate. You have your fate. You heard the Troika, so that's your fate. Maybe it wasn't a trick, but I have it differently. You remember how I stole from the shop? It wasn't the first time. I've done lots of similar things. I think maybe I should quit this kind of life. Start a household. I know it's not as fun or exciting. You saved me. So I wanted to ask your advice. You were nowhere after all. What do you think?
Well, Fietka, I've always told you to abandon your life of pleasure.
Right, I'll try. Old habits die hard. Next thing you'll know, I have my own household.
You better remember these words of yours.
I will. I'm not old enough to have a bad memory.
Fedka grins and flings the reins. Pakcha village is surrounded by mist, and the road to Vilgurt lies ahead of you. You think that if someone wanted this wedding ruined, he wouldn't be stopped this easily. You look around anxiously and prepare for the worst.
Okay. Moving on to Cold Creek Ford.
The winding path lures you in with a damp mist and mysterious shadows. What spirits hide behind them? Soon, you get to Cold Creek Ford. Yours and the bride's carts cross the water with a splash, but the third cart isn't so lucky. One of the wheels hits a stone, and all its passengers fall overboard. You look around and notice demon eyes in the dark. Fedka gives you a questioning look. What should you do with the rest of the guests?
No. Hop off and help.
You hop off the cart and open the black book. Fedka passes the reins and hops off too. You need to depart as soon as possible so as not to fall behind the wedding procession. The musician tries to help fix the cart, but you have something else to deal with. A swarm of chorts flies out of the darkness.
Yep. If we stop too long, we're kind of doomed. But I'm kind of remembering something at the end of this, and I need to make a gesture-based deck. Okay. Okay. So, doing that. And away we go. Nothing. Nothing. And I get poison. I forget what poison does. Ah, right. And away we go. You're dead. You're dead. You're also dead. Don't want that. It is... Could use this. That's not terrible. We'll do this.
The cart is finally fixed, and you quickly catch up to the procession. The peasants didn't see the Chorts, but they noticed you whispering Zagavers. Now they are looking at you and your book with respect.
And time for a new video. See you in a moment.